morning, everyone. Good to see everybody this morning. I'm taking it easy today. Not doing too much. Trying to just relax today. Got rid of some of the kittens this week, and yesterday got rid of another, I found a home for another one. So I'm down to one kitty today, and it's just been really quiet. And it's kind of been making me down a little bit, even though I'm definitely happy that they found really amazing homes. They're doing really good. The new parents are sending me pictures and stuff and videos, and I already get to babysit my little buddy this weekend for the other family that just got him because they're going camping. So I get to hang out with them. I'm just I guess I'm a little down and out about it, kind of missing them a little bit. I loved them so much. And as you can see, I'm hanging out outside today. I am under my tent though, because it is way hot, super hot. Definitely dealing with the heat waves out here. But we've got an alert yesterday on our phones out here to not use as much electricity to help with the grid. So I am sitting outside and my house is completely dark. The only thing that is running in my house right now is it's like those window air conditioners. So that's pretty much it's in my window. It's running to keep my house cooled down because I have animals. So the cats and the rest of the cats and stuff are just hanging out in there, cooling off, and no lights are on. And I'm chilling outside, trying to stay cool as much as I can. Let's say good morning to everyone. Dolores, good morning. Yes. Thank you for putting that up. Please hit the like, subscribe, and share. We're still trying to hit our 1,000 subscriber goal. It was weird last week. I swear somebody said that we got over a 900, and then we were looking at it yesterday and we're back under 900 again. So it looks like we lost a couple. That's okay. I tend to scare people off anyway. But yeah, please hit that like, share, subscribe. Definitely hit the like button. That definitely helps out with the algorithms. Good morning, Robert. Good morning, Warren. And good afternoon, Warren. Good morning, Amber. I hope you have a good day at work today. Yeah, I got to 116 there in Sacramento yesterday. Yeah, I heard it was brutal yesterday. Yesterday was very bad. Hopefully I can last the hour. So I'll just handle 1 hour out here today, and then we'll see how the rest of it goes. I'll probably just end up taking my butt back inside the house and just chilling there and come out here for a little like smoke breaks and stuff, but that's about it. Yeah. There's like a massive heat dome thingy over the west, right? Yeah, it's bad. I have it in the news today. I think I try not to talk about too much California stuff because I live here, so I don't want to just talk about California news. But yeah, I've definitely got it in the news for today. Just because of how bad it is. It's pretty bad. Plus the fires and stuff. I definitely woke up this morning with a little bit of a fire scare. Usually like the fire that is here is not very close to us. It's probably about an hour away. There's a one in Big Bear, not the big one in Northern California. That one is huge, but we're gaining a pretty decent sized one here down in Southern California out in Big Bear. And there's already been evacuations out there and stuff. And I haven't really been too concerned about it. I mean, I was just talking about it yesterday because my kid was talking about it. And I was telling her that, it's an hour away. It's, it's no big deal. It's pretty fine. We'll be all right. I'm pretty sure we're always usually okay with the fires. They're pretty decent and pretty good. The firefighters are really good out here taking care of it, because I guess the really bad fire in, I believe 2004, there was a bad fire out here that burned up a lot of the houses. So the fire department's really good out here. But when I woke up this morning and came out here to my backyard, I smelled smoke. So that's kind of when it starts to hit me a little bit, where I'm like, okay, it's, a little close. Like, I know it's probably not going to hit us because we're pretty far away. And there's a lot, like, there's probably like 4 or 5 mountain towns in between me and Big Bear. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that the fire department's definitely going to get this fire before it hits 5 mountain towns. I'm pretty sure they're going to be pretty good at that. I mean, if it's not, I would be in shock. But just the smell of it is just scary, scary, scary for me. So I just don't like to smell it. Yeah, possible electric shut off in the future. Yeah, we got the alert on our phones yesterday. My kid got the alert. It was silent on her phone. She has an iPhone and she got it and I was reading it. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And then my phone just started blaring with it was literally the same kind of alert as the Amber alerts that we get. It definitely was the same one. And they were saying that there was probably going to be I heard some places did get shut off. I think when I talk about in the news today, they'll talk about some of the towns that did get shut off. I worry about that because I do live, this mountain is definitely unincorporated, so they would probably shut us off first. And I am part of the San Bernardino County, so there is a possibility. I know LA County said that they're probably not going to shut off. From what I heard yesterday, they're a part of a whole separate electric grid. Which made me think, like, are they like how Texas has its own thing? Because apparently LA County is not part of like some kind of electric grid system or something. They have their own. I don't know, but they said they're not going to shut off the electricity there. But I heard that Northern California probably, because the fires and everything too. The fires are brutal out there. Hello, Dolores on Facebook. Hello, everyone. Oh, yeah, look at you. Amber, you're on Facebook, too. Oh, it's a Facebook party. Yay. Gotta love Facebook. That they could shut off power. That's a possibility. They could shut off power when they do a rolling blackout. Right. Absolutely. What did you say? Did you know that fires aren't considered a federal emergency like tornadoes, earthquakes? Crazy. No wonder Trump, the Republicans, instead of giving us the dollar, they told us to rake leaves. Yeah, absolutely. During the time that there was those fires out here, there was like the rich area. I think Malibu was on fire or somewhere around there, because I remember Miley Cyrus's house got burned down. But what we were hearing out there, because I guess the Kardashians live around in that area, in that same neighborhood as well, they were paying private security and private stuff, or private things, to come and protect their house, making sure that their house was like watered down and hosed off and stuff. So they ended up paying for private. So these public companies and stuff that are supposed to be helping, taking care of, everybody, were stuck out in the Malibu area taking care of them because they got paid. So yeah, definitely they don't really care. I mean, I think just in the last couple of years up in Northern California, all of you guys lost an entire town. I think it was like Paradise, California, was just completely, it's just gone. And I noticed like a lot of the places that end up burning down, and a lot of places that lose a good amount and take a long time to get it back, are poor and minority areas. So you don't see Malibu having a problem, and you don't see, Miley Cyrus, she was all sad about losing a lot of her stuff, but she's not homeless, like a lot of these people definitely out in Paradise. I've heard that there's definitely people that can't even get their homes. So, just in this last fire right now, I was watching the news, and a lady lost her home with her granddaughter right there in the same neighborhood. So pretty much a family lost both their homes. So yeah, California definitely needs some new representation. The state of this state makes me sad and angry. Yeah, same. I'm absolutely the same. And what sucks is like we go out to like the conservative states, and and they're like, oh, you guys are liberal and you all are, just as bad. And it's like, we have to, yeah, you're right. Being liberal, it has pockets of good areas, but they still don't care. It's just as much empathy as the Republicans. They just, have better swag. That's about it. Oh, look, well, look at that. I went 11 minutes. I ended up gathering some more news today, just in case I was going to not have enough like yesterday, but I'm already at 11 minutes just talking. I think I should yesterday, man, I don't know what happens. Like when I take a few days off from streaming, like it gathers enough of the nerves to where like I'm back on and I'm like, hey, everybody, I don't know what I'm doing. Hey. So I think I'm going to do that a lot less because I think I let a couple of comments get to me yesterday and I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm just going to take it easy. Seems like it's going a little bit better for my own sanity and the time. So let's get started on the first one. Let me make sure I'm on the right one. Okay, cool. Since we're already talking about the weather, I decided we're going to do this one first. So California averts the widespread rolling blackouts, even though there was yesterday, some as energy demands ease amid heat wave. We did do a good job, they were saying, so of turning off our stuff and saving it in some areas. For nearly 3 hours yesterday, California officials warned imminent rolling blackouts as the state's electric grid struggled to keep up with surging demand during the heat wave. The state avoided widespread outages through three Northern California cities experienced brief loss. Three Northern California cities experienced a brief loss of power. I think it was like around an hour that they dealt with it. Not too bad. Usually a lot of people, like if they're in the mountain communities, like where I live, we all have generators. So I didn't read too much in it. I'm just kind of guessing what's happening out there. Because if we went without electricity, we would just turn on the generator here. We always have to have some kind of form of electricity in the house because if we don't have electricity, there is no usage of phones. There's no service out here at all whatsoever, like absolutely zero. I think like we get half of a bar. So we have to have this certain kind of cell phone service that gets the Wi-Fi calling, and that's how we make phone calls and use text messaging and stuff is through the Wi-Fi. And then the Wi-Fi always has to be plugged in and always has to be running. So the generator it has to run if we don't have electricity. Because we have to have our phone, especially in an emergency situation. Like you have to have your phone just in case you need to get a hold of authorities or get a hold of your family or find, some people to come. What if something really quick bad happens and you need to start taking all your stuff out of the house and you need people to help you. So yeah, 8 p.m. The system operator downgraded its level 3 alert, final step before calling for rollback, saying that the consumer conservation played a big part in protecting the electric grid reliability. There were no load sheds for the night. However, Alameda, Palo Alto, and Healdsburg officials said they implemented short rotating outages. So there's a couple that did actually deal with some of the outages. In Alameda, municipal utility officials said at 6:20 that rotating outages were beginning. Power would be shut off to 2 circuits for 1 hour, according to the principal. Just before 7:30, utility officials in the Bay Area said that the second hour power interruptions had been called off. No more rotating outages for tonight. Crews are working to get the power restored. As directed by CAISO, rolling power outages to begin. City officials in Healdsburg confirmed outages around 6:30. Outages lasting about an hour per zone would cycle through each block until the energy shortage is over. Due to lower system loads, the need for rotating outages has ended. Palo Alto officials said around 7 p.m. they had been cleared to restore power to about 1,700 customers after outages to meet the Cal ISO's load shedding requirement. So that's what it is that LA County doesn't have, the Cal ISO, I think. We did not order rotating outages, said an ISO spokesperson. We held at Energy Emergency Alert 3 with no load shed, and the alert ended at 8 p.m. She did not respond to several requests for clarification by phone. After 7 p.m., they noted that peak grid demand had hit 52,000 megawatts, an all-time record. You were saying that I think up in Northern California hit an all-time record of temperature since I think it was like 1920s, 1926, I believe. The alert did not affect LA Department of Water and Power, as the utility operates on its own grid and is separate from Cal ISO. See, that's what I was reading last night. So they are on their own grid, which made me think, like, are they like Texas? And then they were out here making fun of Texas being on their own grid, but are they on their own? We're not suspecting any blackouts due to energy shortages and are not a part of any rolling blackouts Cal ISO had planned. The DWT forecast Tuesday's demand to be elevated, yesterday's demand to be elevated, but not enough to surpass available electric generation and reserve capacity. The utility advised its customers to conserve power and follow the state's regulatory guidance, including setting thermostats to at least 78 degrees and not using the large appliances. The heat wave is now expected to last until Friday, but the worst of it could be over for the southern half of the United States, where I am, even as temperatures remain dangerously high. For much of Northern California, that's where you are, Robert, the heat was expected to peak Tuesday, but temperatures are predicted to remain well above average through the week, according to the National Weather Service. By late Tuesday afternoon, the Weather Service confirmed that downtown Sacramento had set an all-time temperature record. There it is. A preliminary high of 115 degrees broke the previous record of 114 set on July 17th, 1925. That is nuts. Almost 100 years later. About an hour later, officials reported that the temperature had topped at 116, so 2 degrees higher. There's that 2 degrees. Scary, scary. The state capital has seen a barrage of extremes over the last year. First, its longest dry spell on record, which ended with wettest day on record, followed by driest start to a calendar year on record, now follows by its hottest day on record. That is some amazing records you're making, California. I'm pretty sure that Mother Nature is so proud of you. Just saying. San Jose's temperature of 109 Tuesday beat the previous all-time of 108 in September 2017. Santa Rosa's high of 115 broke its record of 113 set in 1913. Napa's 114 broke a record of 113 and night set in 1961. And King County in Monterey County hit 116 breaking its record of 115 in 2017. Redwood City in San Mateo County hit 110, tying its record set in 1972. Livermore topped out on yesterday at 116, tying its record set one day earlier. Previous maximum temperature recorded live in Livermore was 115 degrees in September 3rd, 1950. Gavin Newsom called the heat wave across California unprecedented and warned that the state is headed into the most severe stretch. The risk for outages is real and it's immediate. These triple-digit temperatures throughout much of the state are leading, not surprising, to record demand on the energy grid. The West has long experienced episodes of extreme temps, but studies have shown the human-caused climate change is making those heat waves more prolonged, frequent, and intense. We don't have to read the tips. That's wrong one. That's what's going on in that thing right there, or in the weather out here. It's wild. You can feel it even at nighttime. It's just not letting off. It just stays hot, constant. Let's see what you got to say. Did you know that fires aren't considered? Okay, California really needs, I've got that one already. What's your opinion on the Second Amendment? I don't know what it has to do with weather. You have a great day too. Jesus. I swear, every time I come onto this dang show, something random happens. It just never fails. Morning, Daniel. I am trying to stay cool. No, I'm not. I'm keeping my arms down just in case, start to sweat. I definitely need to start to bring them out a little bit. It's freaking hot already. It's 10:20 in the morning and it already here. Let me see what the temperature is right now. It is 83 degrees at 8 or 10:30 in the morning, which is wild to me. It was over, it was over 80 degrees at 2 a.m. Yeah, last night when I was going to bed around like 11:30 last night, dude, that shit was, it was still brutal. It was so muggy and hot. I don't even own very many shorts because I live in the mountains, and I'm having to like dig through my piles just to find shorts because I am, like I'm a very I'm conservative when it comes to my dressing sometimes, especially at home, just because I like being very comfortable. But man, oh man, to just run around in some shorts and a sports bra is so tempting. So tempting. Yeah, I bet it's out 80 out there. It's freaking, and then you've got the wetness from the ocean right there too, so you probably got all that mugginess to go with it. I can't. I mean, you could look right here. That's how hot the sun is. It's just blaring through everywhere right here. It's just blaring through. It's just ready to come. I feel like I'm in a sauna. It's wild. It's like 88 now out there. Yeah, northern. I bet. Mm. Oh my gosh. I couldn't. It's just that's why I moved out of the desert to the mountains, was to get away from that kind of stuff. Like the heat that over, like I remember the one thing that stood out to me the last summer that I was out in the high desert, that I lived out there. I remember I was like collecting those like McDonald's like smoothie cards, because once you buy 4 of them, you got like stamped and you get the 5th one for free. And man, I would just collect the shit out of those that summer, just because there was always a McDonald's right by where I worked. So I always, always, always had like one of those smoothies on me to at least help me have something in my system, and then keeping me cooled off as well. That, and that was the summer I was like, I can't handle this. Like, this is just too much for me. And then I moved up here, and it was nice. I got rid of, like I was saying, got rid of a lot of my shorts, wear a lot of pants. Now I'm back. It literally feels like now I'm in high desert weather again. I couldn't even imagine what they're dealing out in the high desert with. Like, it's got to be brutal. I mean, I remember working out on Edwards Air Force Base back in those days, and my business was right by the flight line, the flight path, and it would get up to 110 out there, and we'd be washing cars, and it would get pretty bad there back then, and that was in what, 2011. So it's got to be even more brutal now, especially on the flight line out in Edwards Air Force Base, because that's just a brutal desert, and it's pretty much quarterly, about a quarter of it surrounded by a dry lake bed. So it's got to be, it's like having a sun in front of a mirror out there. It's brutal. It's so bad. Uh, Good morning, Ghost Star. Thank you. Yes, good vibes. Yeah, we're talking about no good vibes. We're talking about the weather right now, and it's brutal and how hot it is, and it sucks so bad. Good morning, Kay. How are you? Sorry, popped up the wrong one. Talking about the weather. I guess I just spent 25 minutes on the weather. It just scared me this morning, especially coming outside and knowing that there's fires around. And usually it doesn't bother me. I don't think about it. But man, smelling the fire out in Big Bear today, just waking up and walking outside and smelling it. And I still smell it now. It just, whoo, man, it starts to hit a little close to home. You start thinking about, okay, if a fire comes, what things do I really, really want? What things do I absolutely need that I can't, live without? What things would I need to have if I was stuck in a hotel for, a month, or at a friend's house or my parents' house or my sister's house for a month? What kind of things would I need? How would I be able to get them all out of the house in a timely manner to make sure that I've got everything that I want and need? Yeah, it's just a lot of things that start going on in your head when you smell fire, when you walk out of your house. So usually people don't think about. It's really scary. All right, no more talking about the scary fire stuff, because I swear talking about the heat makes me hot. All right, we'll go on to this story. So in the news, uh, for about the last week or so, this man got arrested for kidnapping a woman and a jogger lady. And when they arrested this man, he wouldn't tell the authorities where this woman was. The husband and the kids went on to talk about it, to ask, to please have him, tell him where she's at so they can find her and bring her home safely. But yesterday, I think this weekend they were just searching around looking for another missing person, and found her. So let's read what this says. A body found in Memphis. They had found a body on Monday, and they did confirm it to be the Tennessee woman who was abducted late last week. Eliza Fletcher, 34, was seen on surveillance. That's the suspect. Surveillance video that's the woman, being forced into an SUV while she was jogging. The suspect arrested in the case is 38-year-old Cleotha Abston. He's being charged with first-degree murder and perpetration of kidnapping. Memphis police told reporters that it was possible others would be charged in the case, but as of Tuesday morning, no one has been. Abston hasn't provided much information into investigators, and she said that they're still working on that suspect. According to the chief, it was too early for investigators to determine how and where she died. Her body was found behind a vacant duplex. The police affidavit said officers noticed vehicle tracks next to the duplex driveway and smelled an odor. Purple running shorts consistent with the shorts that she was wearing were found discarded in a trash bag nearby. The district attorney said that the suspect would be arraigned on murder charges on Wednesday. We have no reason to think that this was anything other than an isolated attack by a stranger. Abston appeared before a judge yesterday on charges of kidnapping, tampering with evidence, theft, identity theft, and fraudulent use of a credit card. Relatives of Fletcher and more than 20 media members were in the courtroom. I believe it's getting so much media attention because her grandfather was like some philanthropist or some kind of business person, well-known high-end business person in this area. So he was really well known, and this was the granddaughter of him. Abston was issued a $510,000 bond, which he could not do, and he could not afford a lawyer, so he got a public defender. They arrested him on Saturday. The police detected his DNA on a pair of sandals found near where the lady was last seen. Cell phone records allegedly pinged him to the area at the time of the kidnapping. CBS News correspondent reports, according to the records, his brother told police he spotted his brother acting strange and washing the interior of his car with floor cleaner. That's kind of when they still didn't have a body or the person. And his brother had said that he did this. This is kind of when, at least in my own head, I said, okay, this is a recovery, not a rescue. So police also linked the vehicle they believed was used in the kidnapping to a person at a home where he was staying. Late Monday, police tweeted that a body had been found and that the identity of the person and the cause of death was unconfirmed. A large police presence was reported in the area where they found the body just after 5 p.m. Fletcher, who is a mother of two and a school teacher, is the granddaughter of late Joseph Orgill III, a Memphis hardware businessman and philanthropist. The family offered a $50,000 reward for the information on the case. So he's a philanthropist and a Memphis hardware businessman. In a statement Tuesday, the family said they were grateful beyond measure to authorities for finding her and for arresting the suspect. They're heartbroken and devastated by the loss. She was a joy to so many. Now it's time to remember and celebrate how special she was and to support those who cared so much for her. She taught kindergarten at a religious school. On social media, the faculty and staff said that they lit candles in remembrance of her. So here's this suspect's previous story. So he previously kidnapped a prominent Memphis attorney in 2000. The commercial appeal reported, whatever. When he was just 16 years old, he forced this man, Kemper Duran, into the trunk of his own car at gunpoint. After several hours, Abston took Duran out and forced him to drive to a Mapco gas station to withdraw money from an ATM. This was in 2000. At the station, an armed Memphis housing authority guard walked in and Duran yelled for help. So the suspect ran away but was found and arrested, and he pleaded guilty in 2001 to especially aggravated kidnapping and aggravated robbery, according to court records, and he received a 24-year sentence. So I believe in here, he was released in November 2020 at the age of 36. So he was sentenced in 2001 and got a 24-year sentence and got released in 2020. So he did 19, 20 years pretty much, because he got arrested in 2000 out of his 24-year sentence because he was only 16. So during that 20 years, he should have gotten rehabilitated. But as you can see, as soon as he got out, he waited a couple years and did the exact same thing, but got away with fully what he wanted to do. This is just proof that our justice system is broken and our jail system is nothing more than stopping people from making any progression, any kind of help, get any kind of help that they would need. They just sit there and rot until they get out and then do it again. It's like, even in jails, they call it a revolving door. Once you hit that door, it's hard to stop hitting that door over and over and over again, because there is no sense of rehabilitation in here. Not saying that this suspect is a victim. I'm just pointing out the disgustingness of our justice and our criminal system, and the lack of anything that they actually do for people that are in there. What this guy did is disgusting. It's gross. It's appalling. It's horrible. But we can also walk and chew gum at the same time, obviously, and think two things at the same time. It's crazy and gross and disgusting, but it really shows how bad our system is. All right, bye, Amber. Have a good day at work. I love you, chica. The hurricane. Aw. Is there a hurricane out right now that's called Hurricane K? That's so crazy. Private prisons are just another one. Yeah, because they're private, and that's the whole problem of it. When you turn something from a public utility or a public thing to a private thing, it puts a profit in there, so that instead of actually helping people, and because putting people in jail absolutely, I mean, obviously it shouldn't even be said that it absolutely should be a public thing, because it should be regulated and controlled by the government, because the government is who should be punishing people. These private companies should not be holding these punished people. We go to the justice system, we go to the court system, and we get punished and sentenced for the crimes that we do, and then we get sent to a for-profit corporation and then have to sit there and do our time, which that's not how the process should be. It should be public, because that way the government is not trying to make any money, and the people do the time that they need to do in the way that it's supposed to be done, instead of this person needs to stay in here this long to make this much money, but we're not going to put in any money to actually help rehabilitate anyone. That's the whole problem with the whole situation. Like and that's a lot of things that people don't understand too, is that they think because it's a prison that it's part of the government and it's owned by the government, but they don't realize that it's a private corporation, that these guys are literally making bank. It's kind of like the federal job guarantee. The government gives these things in these prisons some money, and they do what they want with the company that they own. That's where the regulations and the government can't tell you what to do with that kind of money. They can, but not to an official extent. They can say that they did, but then they don't. They only put like a small percentage of in what they need. So yeah, It's in the Pacific? Wait, Hurricane K is in the Pacific. It's in the K, you're in the Pacific? I'm jealous. I want a hurricane named after me. If only they would name it Jimi. They need to put the Jimi into like a normal book of names. I'm just kidding. I love it. Oh, well, thank you for coming and visiting me. I wish you would hit us a little bit harder. We definitely need some rain for sure. For sure. Now, about the houses that live on the beach, though, it's a little bit on the iffy side because they don't have like, like out on the East Coast, like a lot of the people, like the houses out on the coast, that are always dealing with hurricanes and flooding and stuff, they're up on stilts, like their houses are up on stilts. But out here in California, our houses are right on the ground, like you're there, when you're walking down like Venice Beach streets, like the streets of it, they've got like signs there that say like run this way in case of a tsunami. So yeah. Oh, that's so cool though. I wish you could give us some more. Okay, it's coming north from Mexico towards California. Yes, hope we get some rain out here. Please, 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 need some rain. Oh, that would be so nice. I would love it. We got some rain the other day, and it was really weird rain up here too, because it wasn't like, like different elevations are here. We have like different elevations here in the mountain. Like right here where I'm at, we're like at 4,500 feet above sea level. But you go like towards Big Bear and you get up to like 6,000 feet above sea level. So that's like the elevation difference. Over here where we are, we got like these huge drops of rain, probably for like an hour on Saturday or Sunday, I believe. It just huge, massive drops of rain, just really heavy, really hard hitting. But out where my mom lives, over by Big Bear, they were getting hail, which was absolutely crazy. My dad said that the hail was like, I guess it had broken a couple of car windows. Like it was some pretty decent sized hail up where my dad and my mom live. And they were saying that it lasted about an hour as well. So we got a little bit of rain, not too much, but and then they got snow. So you gotta love this crazy weather. It's wild. It's scary because of the climate change, but it's so interesting to see what Mother Nature does to try to balance herself out. Like, we can say all we want to as humans, and people can believe all they want to, but Mother Nature is just going to be like, screw you humans. I'm balancing myself out whether I've got to get rid of you or not. Like, if you think about it, we're just a virus on top of a person. Like if you consider the earth as an actual living being, which everything on it, I mean, pretty much a lot of things, everything on it is alive when it comes to like, like trees and plants and life under the sea and everything, if it's all still alive, and we just keep building things on top of it, we're like pimples, like we're like viruses, and eventually that, the earth is going to get tired of it once it's, like, just if your acne got too big or your virus got too bad, you take yourself to the hospital and you get yourself fixed to balance everything out. Earth's going to do it whether we like it or not. So we better start, getting along with her and compromising and working towards making it balanced in the way that we can still survive here, or she's going to balance it out without us. That's just it. Sorry, humans. It's crazy. I do hope we get some rain, though. Definitely need rains all over California. Okay, it's going to indirectly affect SoCal by Friday. Hey, as long as we get some rain. I mean, I'm not cool with the whole wind and all this stuff that comes with the hurricanes, for especially the people out on the coast, but could definitely use some of the rain for sure. Absolutely. Definitely could use some rain. Let's see what else we've got here. Massachusetts had their primaries yesterday, which was kind of cool. That came up in the news, so I figure we might as well talk about it. Massachusetts primary results. The Trump-backed challenger wins the GOP governor nomination for the primaries in the Republican side. There was also a Democrat that won as well. So it's going to be a really interesting one. It's going to be a Trump-backed Republican with a Democrat who I think is like suing or has sued multiple times the Trump government or the Trump. I don't know. She's done something legally with um, the Trump campaign. So AP projected or that he did win. He's backed by former president. His name is Geoff Diehl, I believe. He won the Republican nomination for governor of Massachusetts. He will face Maura Healey, who was the Democratic winner in the contest. Massachusetts is one of the Democrats' best chances at flipping a governor's seat since Governor Charlie Baker is not running for re-election. Diehl defeated businessman Chris Doughty. Baker, who refused to vote for Trump in 2016 or 2020, did not endorse either candidate. Healey, the current Attorney General of Massachusetts, was running virtually unopposed on the Democratic side. Sonia dropped out of the race in July, but her name remains on the ballot. So here's those two right here. Getting loaded. Don't they look all amazing? Healey would be the state's first openly gay governor and the first woman elected governor of the state. Jane Swift in 2001 became the first female governor of Massachusetts when this guy resigned. Despite Massachusetts' reputation as a liberal state, only one Democrat has been elected to governor since 1990, but most of the Republican governors were considered fiscally conservative and socially moderate. Trump captured 30% of the vote in the state in 2020, winning about 75,000 more votes than he did in 2016, although roughly the same percentage of the vote. Actually, if we look at this right here, we will see that this state is mainly double the size of Democrat than Republican in here. And it looks like so 65% is Democrat, 32% is Republican. So it looks like this state really has a chance to flip itself blue. Not like it's like Mansion or Cinemas state, but they're counting it as like a big one because it's been so red for so long. So not only has Trump endorsed Diehl, that guy, but Trump's former advisor is a strategist for the campaign, and Diehl was the 2016 state co-chair of Trump's campaign. Diehl has also repeated Trump's claims that the 2020 election was stolen. Trump held a phone rally for this guy. Diehl unsuccessfully ran against Senator Elizabeth Warren in 2018, losing by 24 points. Doughty, meanwhile, tried to appeal to more moderate voters. Matt Murphy of the State House News told CBS ahead of the race that Doughty's chance would come down to independent voters, which I hate to see independent voters voting blue. How many of those independents decide to participate in the Republican primary? For Doughty to have a chance, he has to draw in a lot of those independents, maybe even the ones who typically vote Democrat, to maybe thwart that Trumpian message that's coming from the Republican Party. If a lot of them participate, maybe he can close the gap with Diehl. All right, let's watch the video. You guys let me know if it's quiet.
Our WBZ primary night coverage continues right now. Geoff Diehl has been projected as the winner of the Republican primary race winner for governor. He beat out Chris Doughty. Maura Healey, that's who he'll be going against because she won her nomination on the Democratic side, basically running unopposed after Sonia Chang Diaz dropped out back in June. So let's talk a little bit about this matchup. This coming up in November. John Keller joins us now. And John, let's start with Diehl. So he gets the win over Doughty, who had sort of been surging in the polls. Yep. We've had Republican governors. We've had plenty of them, from Romney, Cellucci, Baker, but they're not usually as conservative as Diehl is. So how does that play out over the next couple of months?
On paper, it plays right into Maura Healey's hands. Keep in mind, Healey's made her name in the last 8 years as Attorney General, primarily by suing the daylights out of the Trump administration at every turn. And now, here comes the Trump-endorsed candidate who held a tele-rally with him just the other night. It sets up perfectly for her. Now, you're absolutely...
That's what I was talking about, how she like sued Trump's campaign and stuff. So she's taking it as like a term of endearment to that this guy won. So she feels like she's got this in the bag. And we'll see.
Right, Geoff Diehl, at least with the recent version of Geoff Diehl, has been considerably more conservative on social issues than many of the Republicans you cited going back to the Weld era in the early 1990s. So it's a different sort of Republican than the Republicans that Massachusetts voters have been electing. You know, will he try to make a pivot more to the center? I think he'd like to. Whether she'll let him get away with it is one of the key early questions their contest will answer.
All right, interesting. Let's keep it right here while we go through some of the other numbers, and I'll get your response to some of these. Let's pop up on the screen, if we can, the lieutenant governor numbers. This is on the Republican side, the person who would like to join Geoff Diehl, and right now Leah Allen has the lead at 42% to 48%. On the Democratic side, it was just called the lieutenant governor winner will be Salem Mayor Kim Driscoll. She has already been declared the winner there. We can't get the numbers up there, but believe me, she did. We're going to talk a little bit about there. She is at 46%. The Suffolk County District Attorney results. It's still early, but we want to bring you in on this, John, because Kevin Hayden, who's sort of the interim DA after Rollins left to become the state attorney general. Ricardo Arroyo, embroiled in controversy lately. He may not win. It looks like Hayden's going to declare victory soon. Your thoughts on this race overall?
You know, for all of the understandable fuss and attention about quote-unquote scandals in this race, Hayden's involvement in a case involving alleged police brutality, Arroyo's involvement in alleged assaults when he was a teenager, there were also issues at play in this race, most notably issues of, if you pardon the expression, sort of minor crime in Suffolk County. You may remember Rachel Rollins, Hayden's predecessor, made national news by saying she was not going to prosecute a list of crimes, including shoplifting, certain types of vandalism and so forth, and she was going to seek diversion, restitution, alternatives to criminal prosecution. Hayden has taken a more centrist approach to that. I think maybe that helped him tonight.
Whereas Arroyo is sort of played out this idea that he would be right along where Rollins.
Rachel Rollins 0.20, right, or 2.0.
John, thank you so much. Appreciate it. We'll see you at 11 o'clock as well.
It's so crazy to me when I watch like these people like, oh shit, I didn't even realize it was small. Sorry. When like they're talking about like certain people doing like small crimes and stuff and how they're getting away with it and still able to run for office. But then like, you know, a woman runs for office and gets the spot, and then there's like old pictures of her partying and she gets impeached, you know, she's got to drop out and can't be part. But so like girls can't, you know, have old pictures of them partying and being, you know, 21 to 25-year-olds, regular girls, you're just being regular people. But these other politicians can like have fraud and, you know, do all this other like criminal stuff, like financially criminal stuff, and just get away with it. It's wild to me. Like, I mean, I don't even really care about Crystal Ball, but like what they did to her was really fucked up, because they did the same thing to the girl that was in office that had to drop out. And that's why Cenk Uygur was running out here in California. It was the same thing. Like this girl's husband did like revenge porn pictures on her, and she had to drop out and couldn't be in the office spot anymore. And it's just wild to me how these, like the women just, you know, get trampled on and ruined and stuff because of that thing. But then these guys can do like financial criminal actions and they get to still run for office and win. It just doesn't make any sense. That's what she said. Missy Warren. All right, let's see what else we got in here. I was going to talk about the new UK Prime Minister, but the one that I had was like, I had some really good updates last night about it. But when I woke up this morning and opened up the website again, apparently this website's just been like updating every hour, but it only shows a certain amount of updates. So the updates that I had last night are just gone. Apparently one of the ladies is in the cabinet is off, or was pissed off last night because this prime minister like kicked her husband, this woman's husband, out of the office to put her own people in. She's very, very, very conservative. I believe, what was it? Breaking Points did a little snippet of her yesterday. She had an interview while she was running for the spot, I believe, and some media person was asking her questions, and he asked about her walking into the room, and if she becomes prime minister, about her walking into a room with the nuclear buttons and how she would feel being shown all this and having to push the button. And I think that the Breaking Points made a good point on that whole situation. I think it was Breaking Points. I'm not sure. They're all like blurred to me, but they were saying that because she's like, yes, absolutely, I know what I have to do. I would be, like not happy to do it, but it sounded like she said I would be happy to do it, to push the buttons. And it just didn't seem very nice. Like, it just didn't seem like you're so cool to push that button. Like, there was no, in her sentence, there was no like, I know the responsibility and the magnitude of what I would have to do. And it would be, it would be really upsetting and sad. But yeah, I don't know. I would have said no. Hell no. So I don't know, but that's my own opinion. So I guess she's very warmongery. She's very conservative. Here is her meeting with the Queen yesterday. Everybody was all like up in arms about the Queen's hand right here and the fact that it was purple. This just showing that she's just getting a little bit old. The blood doesn't flow as well as it used to, or it just thins out more. And so she could have accidentally bumped her hand on the side of the couch, and that kind of stuff happens. It's so funny. The older she gets, like this picture right here, I swear to you, looks to a T like my own grandma right before she passed when I was younger. Like, that's exactly what she looked like. I mean, she even had these little brown bruises, and she'd always tell me that she'd just bump herself on, a corner of a wall and she'd get those. But people were really concerned about her. I mean, they could be doing a lot of tests as well. IV tests, they could bruise. It's all it is bruising from things, bumps and nicks and, needles being shoved into you because you're old. And being old, it's kind of like being pregnant. You just turn into a human pincushion for the medical people. But this lady did become prime minister. She said the top of her inbox is the energy crisis. She refused to spell out her energy strategy during the 2-month campaign, and now she plans to cap energy bills at a cost to taxpayers as much as £100 billion, $116 billion. She's very conservative. We'll see how she goes. To me, she kind of looked like the epitome of Trump. So it looks like, maybe, I don't know, maybe they're just a little bit behind us on what they're doing. She's in a fight club. She's in a fight club. That would be awesome. Vote this guy. You, lunacy? Are we going to vote? All right, vote for lunacy. All right, I'm down. Let's do it. Are you in UK? Because I'll get some of my UK friends to vote for you, lunacy. That would be awesome. Let's see what else it says. She's under pressure to spell out how she plans to help consumers pay household energy bills that are set to rise on average $4,000 a year, triple the cost of a year ago. That's probably because the energy companies are privatized, just like we are. Rising food and energy prices. Grocery stores are privatized. Farmers are privatized. Just saying. Rising food and energy prices driven by the invasion of Ukraine. Come on. Okay, and the aftershocks of COVID-19 and Brexit have propelled UK inflation above 10% for the first time in 4 decades. The Bank of England forecast it will hit 13.3% in October. Train drivers, port staff, garbage collectors, postal workers, and lawyers have all staged strikes to demand that pay increases keep pace with inflation, and millions more, from teachers to nurses, could walk out in the next few months. Look at that revolution. That's what we need to do. We need to have a revolution. I know our country is humongous and it's really hard to get everybody to do it at the same time, but it would be really cool if we got all together to demand pay increase that keeps up with inflation. Truss, a low-tax small government conservative who admires Margaret Thatcher, oh wow, says her priorities is cutting taxes and slashing regulations to fuel economic growth. So she's going to be cutting taxes, probably probably for the rich, most likely. That's usually what conservatives do. Slashing regulations, which means that private companies are going to be able to do whatever they want to without any consequences. To help fuel the economic growth, which I'm pretty sure the UK is just like America. They have pretty much been slashing regulations and cutting taxes for the rich for the last 20 to 30 to 50 years, and nothing has changed. In fact, from this right here before it, it's getting worse. You gotta love the ass backwards politics. God, I keep forgetting to make it big. The ass backward politics that these media companies love to try to tell us. Like, if they would have just put this before this and worded it a little bit different, people could actually understand what's really going on and how corrupt our system is. But they do this like bait and switch, this flip it around to get people to be ass backwards about it. Anyways, the certain uncertainty has rattled money markets, driving the pound below $1.14 on Monday. It's weakest since the 1980s. Okay. In theory, Truss is time to make her mark. She doesn't have to call a national election till late 2024. Domestic woes, multiple foreign policy crisis, including war in Ukraine and frosty post-Brexit relations with the EU. As foreign secretary, she was a firm supporter of Ukraine's resistance to Russia, which is all right. She has said her first phone call with the world leader will be to President Volodymyr Zelensky. Truss is, other than, the Ukraine's resistance to Russia, other than like the whole Nazi thing. But she's likely to have much cooler conversations with EU leaders who were annoyed by her uncompromising stance as foreign secretary in talks over trade rules for Northern Ireland, an unresolved Brexit issue that has sourced relations between London and Brussels, with the UK threatening to breach the legally binding forces or divorce treaty. I think she's got a big challenging job ahead of her. Hopefully she'll bring that, a new team, a new start, but it's going to be a challenging job. Challenging job for her. Whatever, I think she's just as corrupt. We got a couple more minutes left. I wanted to show this video before we get, that's Queen Mum. Queen Mum. I wanted to show this video before we get out of here because I thought it was pretty funny. It is just a trailer. The actual video is behind paywall. Hopefully eventually it's going to come out in full, but as of right now, Channel 5 has not released this, and it's hilarious. I'm pretty sure Alex Jones is just officially lost his goddamn mind. I think he is. Oh, I can't wait to show you all this. All right. 2 minutes, 28 seconds. Let's do this. Looks like we got 2 minutes.
Do you feel responsible for what happened to the Sandy Hook families?
Yes, I killed the children.
But beyond that,
No, I went in that school, I pulled a gun out, and I shot it.
Wait, is the video in small? Okay, good. I just had to make sure I'm small.
Every one of them myself. I'm guilty. It's true.
no. But I mean,
No. It's just, do I feel responsible that someone that played shoot 'em up video games on a bunch of drugs went and killed a bunch of kids, and then the internet questioned it, and I covered that? No, I don't feel responsible, and I don't apologize anymore. I'm done. I don't apologize. I killed the kids.
was there a definitive?
I killed them. I killed them.
You didn't kill him.
No, I did.
No, you didn't.
No, everybody said no. I killed them. I killed them. I already admit it. I did it. I killed them. I'm the bad guy. I'm the devil. Get rid of the First Amendment. We move on to other topics.
I don't think.
I killed them. First Amendment killed them. Second, get rid of the Second Amendment. Get rid of the First Amendment. They're bad. They killed the kids too. George Washington killed them. Jesus killed them. We should rename the whole planet Sandy Hook. Everything. There should be holidays. We should foul 5 times a day to New Haven, Connecticut for the kids that died. Every American's to blame. Every gun owner's to blame. I'm to blame. We're all guilty. To Bloomberg and Soros, turn our guns in. Turn our guns in. I know, I did it. I killed them. I killed them. I killed them. I know, I killed them. So I'm done talking about it. I killed them. Okay.
Can we talk about the trial at all?
There's nothing to talk about. Let me tell you, I don't know if I can do this interview right now.
He actually walked out. Can you believe that shit? This next part is his own person talking to him after he walked out.
Do I get it?
I don't think you should keep doing that.
What? Dude, I murdered those children. I did. I killed them myself.
Still not a funny thing to say. Yeah, I get the point, but it's just like, fuck, man.
Fuck it, I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm far beyond giving a fuck right now.
I understand. Dude,
you want to fucking take me out, right?
No, but I'm just saying. They really, that wasn't their intention.
What you just watched is 2 minutes of our 20-minute interview with Alex Jones.
So yeah, they have their own little Patreon where you can go and check out the actual full video of that. I just wanted to show the interview or the trailer for it. That shit is wild. It's really sad. You can see he definitely he's just lost his mind. I mean, he's definitely in a part of a mental breakdown, it looks like, and it feels like it's really sad that he's, having a mental breakdown, but he says what he says. He definitely needs some mental help. Definitely lost his tinfoil cap for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, he's definitely lost his damn mind. Definitely for sure. CDC head, God gave us 2 arms, one for the flu shot and one for the COVID. What? No, thank you. Yeah, so that was the trailer for that. You gotta love Channel 5. They're such great kids. They do some really good interviews. So all right, I am officially 2 minutes over. So keep an eye out today. Joe Firestone will be I think Joe Firestone and Joe Evans both have a show today. So keep an eye out for those. Those will be popping up at some point to be able to share. Don't remember, everybody that's here right now, please hit the like button. Try to share this out as much as you can to people that you know. We're trying to hit our 1,000 subscribers. I believe we have a little bit over 100 left. So thank you, Lunacy, for coming out. You guys remember, vote for Lunacy in the UK. That's what I'm talking about. And just keep an eye out at KRTD. Like I said yesterday, we're going to be making some changes. Some things are going to be starting to be rolled out slowly. I think maybe next week I might start, if I've got all the pretties and stuff set up, I might just start setting out or rolling out my little show, which is going to be kind of like this, less formalities, more informal, more of a hangout, just sit around and watch things. Thank you for it looks white on here, but thank you for the black heart. That's like one of my favorite things ever. Thank you. But yeah, next week I'm probably going to be maybe streaming a little bit longer than an hour, just kind of hang out, so I don't feel as stressed and nervous, less formalities, things like that. So can't wait to show you guys what that's going to be. Good vibes. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Dolores. Yes, please remember, everybody, please share this out. I'm going to be sharing this out as a post thing so that nobody misses out. Yay. And I hope to see you guys next week. Thank you all for coming. Hold on, let me get in here. We got Warren, Ghost Start, Lunacy, Dolores, Hurricane K, which I am going to use that now. I really, really like it. Robert, up in Northern California, please stay safe. Amber, have a good day at work. Thank you for coming. I love you, girl. Daniel, my bestie, thank you. Jesus, thank you for coming in here and speaking. Appreciate it. And I believe that is it. All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening and week. Bye.